Salute to the chosen, salute to the collective, and salute to those who gonna change their life at some point when they're ready. But don't wait too late to get ready. We're gonna have some noise in the background, but it's gonna be what it's be, getting a little bit of exercise, a little bit of cardio, something that your enemies don't want. They don't want you in good health, because good health brings good vibration, good emotions, and good manifestation. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So on here, what we do on here on this platform, we talk about numerous of different things. We have to understand there's no separation when it comes down to physical things as well as spiritual things, because spiritual and physical thing is a whole. Some people understand that based on if their intuition, discernment, foresight is available for them to have clarity that the physical body and the spirit is not separated. It's one whole. But anyway, I'm gonna shoot y'all a couple things today. You know what I mean? And then we go from there. First thing that's on my mind that I want to speak out. Shouts out to the 90% men that view me. I don't know what your intentions are. I don't know if they're good, bad. It may be curiosity, maybe copycatting. It may be, hey, I hope we don't make it, but I've already made it. Every day that I wake up, I'm making it. I'm making it, and I also made it. You know what I'm saying? Some of you men may be able to relate to what I just stated. Some men may not. It may come later on in your journey about relating to what I said or anything that I say. Everything that I say may not resonate with everybody. It may resonate later on. It may resonate with somebody you may meet later on in life, later on today. Who knows? It might be a message for one of your family members or one of your associates or one of your friends. You know what I mean? So we talk about everything on here. We talk about what's going on in the world. We talk about circumstances to use as example how the Most High is actually resilient in people's lives, and also how those who are not with a close relationship with the Most High doesn't get that resilience from the Most High. That resilience that you have within yourself, at the same time comes from the Most High. Everything comes from the Most High. It makes me think about selling souls. People sell their soul that, first of all, it never belonged to them, and that the Most High owns everything. It makes me think right now when I said everything or own everything, it makes me think about witches and warlocks, how they go into these different dimensions and different portals and different underworlds and so forth, so on, and conjure up these demons that the Most High created that control the wanted to see who was willing to make these crazy sacrifices to honor demons or anything beyond the Most High first. It reminds me of a scripture that talks about that the Most High says, I am a jealous God, put no other God before thee. And you have so many people who does this, but behind closed doors, and for those who know them personally, they end up asking these individuals to pray on their behalf for their circumstances. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people who swear down they don't believe in something beyond this physical realm, and I'm looking where I'm walking, so that's why you don't see me looking at the cam. But shouts out to everybody. Appreciate everybody coming. Make sure you like, share, and follow. You may feel or think that you may not be interested in what I'm saying, but just know these messages come from the Most High. They also come from the pureness of my heart, good intentions. If you're a type of person that got good intentions, or you're striving to figure out how to have good intentions, this is the platform for you. I am the opportunity for your opportunity to brighten your day, to give you something positive when you're going through a storm, or when you're going through something that may be your relationship or an internal thing that you may reflect on yourself. I am the inspiration. My inspiration comes from the Most High. Every good thing that's in my physical body and my spirit will be nothing but positive things. Nothing but the truth teller is what I am. I always tend to be, always has been. No one can shut me down but the Most High. Doesn't matter how many people subscribe. Respectfully saying, just know as long as I'm doing what the Most High want me to do, I'm doing a well done job. Not looking for man to accommodate that. I don't get on YouTube to be looking for financial stability. I have many limitless skills. Any skill that I do not have, I actually can learn. That's what I do know about thyself. So, speaking of that, I've had people to play with my views. I've had people to play with my subscribers. Shouts out to them once again. And I realized that if you allow anyone in your mind that actually dictate and determine what the outcome of your life or what your desire is going to be, this is where you give your power up at. We've experienced this as a childhood. We experienced this as adult. We experienced it not only internally with ourselves, but we also have observed these things when it comes down to different people in our lives that we have observed or that is in our lives. Allow myself to be grateful for the wisdom that's been granted from the Most High, has allowed me to have the ability to express and teach and practice what I teach. You know, one thing about me, I practice what I preach. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to hide my hand. I'm not going to do anything in secret to the fact that thinking that I'm going to get away with something when eventually it's going to be exposed, whether it's to myself and no one ever know about it. I consciously would know about it. I would end up feeling that guilt and that turmoil because I've done something in secret that I thought was in secret because others did not hear or see. So I know better. How do I know better? Because I've been there, done that. A lot of chosen beings get attacked by other people because they have matured in understanding that accountability is very important in life, where no matter how many fingers has been pointed or would be pointed, that the responsibility upon him or her are responsibilities that they're going to have to deal with regardless of how many people support them and say, no, it's not your fault, and etc. We all got responsibility and accountability, whether we accept them or not. Our outcomes and our presentation and our appearance and what we got going on in our life actually dictate that when those circumstances actually fits the structure of what I just stated. So yeah, while I'm on my mind, a lot of people, when we deal with Shannon Sharp, for example, a lot of people believe, a lot of people don't believe. But either way it go, my point about that is without judgment, he could have not. But you got to remember, the same judgment that we put on other people, we got to learn how to try to figure out how to support negativity in a positive manner versus participate giving your energy away to the negative matter, whether it's true or false, to help others as we would want done to ourselves. A lot of people have a hard time reciprocating do unto others as you expect to be done unto you, because somehow, some way, either they can't comprehend or their mind is just not wired like that, or last but least, I mean, it could be more than just this last one, is that people just don't care. But again, those same people want you to put energy into caring about what they got going on. You know what I mean? They want you to save them. But God gave us the ability to learn how to save ourselves. Yes, we do need some help here and there, but a lot of people abuse that. You ever meet a man or a woman who can just snap them fingers? And sometimes they ain't got to snap no finger, but they can just have people who are attracted to them because of whatever their intentions are. Some may not even have any intentions. They just want to do something for somebody. You ever realize those type of individuals don't have nothing to show for nothing? Or there's no growth, or they can't teach you how to actually, in a positive manner. I mean, they can teach you how to receive it in a wicked way. I have to apologize for the noisy background. Again, like I said, get a little bit of cardio, a little bit of melanin. Shouts out to the melanin, AKA black people. You know what I'm saying? You need this. Shouts out to the other cultures as well, even though everybody has melanin. You know what I mean? Here's another thing, since I brought this up about the melanin. The question is today, is why is it that so many different races, for those that fit the category, which is all, think that they're better than the same race, or they think they're better than the opposite race? However, name one thing, if anyone can do it, that any race doesn't go through or have received or not received in a positive or negative manner. Please, somebody. Please, because the reason why I bring that up is because you have people that lose a lot of opportunity to be with good people or right situations because they've been programmed, wired, and also conditioned to believe that if they or whomever is not a race or came and grew up in a neighborhood or don't talk a certain language, is an enemy, or you should be feared or fear those individuals. Let me tell you something. There's countless situations, whether I've presently seen it or the things I have not seen, that other races, for those very few, it's very small, it's not big, and actually help others out. You know, it made me think about whites, people, for those who fit the category, claim that they're so scared of black people, but you take black people money all the time. You know what I'm saying? You say black people lazy, but when you look at the history, it tells you a lot. Even though people don't like to read or research and look up the truth, but they just conditioned or lazy to accept whatever anybody say. You always supposed to, importantly, if you choose or choose not to do, it's very important that you go do your homework despite what I say or anybody say, to see the facts about something, because this is one reason why a lot of people are easily misled, because they take people's word for it, and a lot of people don't have the intuition, or the gift of discernment comes from God, but intuition is a natural gift itself. It gives you some of the abilities to actually see through bullshit. So, man, the message is coming. So the next thing to talk about is this, about copycatting. A lot of people come to my platform to copycat what I say, what I do. They come just to actually laugh and look and send evil eye and oh, okay, what I'm doing as far as my witchcraft is not working. Yeah, you got people that I do not know, don't care to know, don't care about what they choose to do, respectfully saying, because every day I wake up, I don't be concerned about people who's scared to show themselves. You see what I'm saying? Who's scared, who come forward face to face, which they wouldn't, because they know that it makes no sense to actually express delusional and illusional things to me, why they dislike me. A lot of people want your gifts, a lot of people want your life, but they ain't gonna want to go through what you went through to get those gifts and get that life, or be in a certain mindset, or even physical materialistically. They're not gonna go through that. But people gotta understand, no matter what anybody's outcome is, there's diversity, there's delays, there's obstacles, there's problem solving that has to goes on, there's strategies, there's strategic moves that has to be made. Ain't nobody on this planet got no life easy. Look, even the rich, right? Out of all their struggle before they got their wealth, they had to figure out the structure to create that wealth. So before they was wealthy in the physical realm that we're in, they had to figure out tactics based on a positive and a negative side. They had to figure out, should I be persuasive? Should I be manipulative? Should I just take it? Should I just steal? Should I use other people's skills and talents and pay them less? And it's obvious that everybody get paid less money for their skills and talents. Made me think about football, how you out this youth, they're very young, they understand business contracts, and the contracts that they sign, whether it's the sports, whether it's music industry, is already manipulated for these people to make trillions of dollars. But you don't never see these people at the forefront, which is very intelligently, because it allows the masses not to actually get to see what's behind the scene, and that's usually be the main problem, because masses of the people, or the people of the masses, don't go farther than what they see, if they can get as far what they do see, meaning if they can see it. So, you know, I love what I do. I love my job. My number one job is to work for the Most High. My number one job is to express inspiration, motivation, be an example of those trials and tribulations, how you can overcome those things, and how you can actually be the light that you're designed to be. And not only that, also the opportunity to show that those things are weak, they're illusions, and they're not effective. Even though they're designed for you to actually be stagnant, you won't be stagnant, because you have the ability every day or any second to actually switch that light. And when I say that light, it's like a light switch. You switch it on and off. You know how you get upset? You know how you want to make a move? You know how you want to eat certain food? You're like, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm about to go get this. This is what I want to eat today. It's the same thing. So if you can understand that simple parable or that simple message or moment that I just asked to grasp, their life gonna change so instantly fast, even though you gotta go through some things to get to what you truly desire. It wouldn't be fair if life handed you everything, you'd be bored. There's a story in the Bible that talks about how life handed a king everything, and he was bored, so he had to figure some other stuff to do, and he ended up actually sabotaging everything by actually doing something corruptive. But you know how I feel about the Bible. I respect it. I know it's not the truth. When I say the truth, I mean the whole truth. It has truth in it, but it doesn't have the whole truth. So the Most High has always gave me the ability to actually see what the truth is, and that's how I understand the Bible and any other principle that's out here. I don't spend a lot of time dipping and dabbing in a lot of stuff that I used to, as far as like reading on people, because a lot of people wrote things to make money. A lot of people wrote things to mislead people and stuff like that. So if I am going to read something or read a book or something like that, or blog or whatever, or listen to anyone, podcasts, whatever, I'm gonna make sure that I check in with the Most High. Now, me talking about check-in made me think about Jay Prince. Here it is, you got this old man, old enough to be my granddaddy as well as many other people, trying to be something that he's not. Now, this is what I understand about him. As a kid, you could tell he got bullied, he got punked around based on how he carried himself. And a lot of people don't know that Jay Prince has sacrificed his soul, you know, to be in the position that he's in. And then you would think by him saying he's a mob ties, or you think about the Italians and the Irish people at one point in time, it still is probably to this day, that represented mobs and gangsters and stuff like that, that were killing people and so forth, so on, that you think he'd be incarcerated by now. Just using that word. He been doing it for years, but I'm saying, you would think he'd have did it by now. Not did it by now, excuse me, but he'd have been incarcerated by now based off of using that term, because that term holds a lot of weight when it comes down to the feds, DEA, depending on what's going on, depending on the agents that need to be involved or would be involved in certain criminal activity. You're promoting to the youth, and you're promoting to the world that who you are, what you stand for, and it ain't nothing good. And people may think receiving houses and money and materialistic things is a positive thing, which it is, but the way that you receive it, which makes it negative, if you're receiving it in a negative way by taking from someone else or harming someone else. So no shouts out to Jay Prince. And then on top of that, he wants to beef with 50. Well, people want to bully 50 because 50 humble, he's outspoken like me, and that he's masculine, and he also he has muscles and stuff like that. So people look at people who have a lot of muscles and things like that as they trying to be a bully and stuff like that. And 50 where he's supposed to be. And when 50 time is up, if you don't know what I'm talking about, 50 Cent. When his time is up, look at your ass. When his time is up, you will be able to know that God had took him off the earth as it was time to be up. Same as me, same as you, and same as anybody else. People want you to be gone. And then if you're gone, then they ain't got nobody else to pick at. Or then if they do, they're looking for weak vessels. It gives them the opportunity to take advantage and feel egotistically, empowered. But no, you need your best ally. If you like to have allies and enemies, you need them for the simple fact because you're trying to prove to yourself that you're stronger and you're powerful than anyone else on the planet, when it's common sense to understand that here you are in this flesh, at the same time in this flesh, thinking that this flesh does not have weaknesses. It does, until you understand and learn how to strengthen it. And it's up to God, which people keep failing to realize. It gives you access to the things that you need access to, right? Marriages, good health, a certain mindset, certain finances, unless you're going to take the shortcut like Diddy and all them people. They took the shortcuts and look what happened. I ain't got to name a list, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know. We can pick any profession out there that you seeing people are really going through it, from public servants, AKA police officers, to judges, to prosecutors, And some people, information is not even on a platform where it's well known for you to actually have an opportunity to view it. But it's enough out there, whether you use YouTube platform, IG, Facebook, Snap, Neighborhood Watch, your neighborhood, your friends and families, associates, enemies, that there's enough promotion about what's really going on out here with people who actually doesn't do the right thing. But shouts out to them, because it gives you the opportunity to be grateful and gives you the opportunity to understand if you make those decisions and take those choices, that you will be prosecuted too. Now, I learned to not have sympathy for people, but to a degree, because you don't know what kind of karma they dealing with. And that's where you got to ask the Most High how to discern that, so you don't be helping people out that actually are dealing with that karma, and then all of a sudden your good karma that you got going, or your almost opportunity to get out of your bad karma, you like looking around trying to figure out why you still dealing with karma, or why you're not out of your karma and stuff like that. So it's very important to pray about things and actually go with your instincts and realize that these things are actually shown to you, that you shouldn't second guess it if it's true or not, or if it's real. And because you'll find yourself in situations, and some people find themselves in situations on a day-to-day basis that they end up losing their life, or almost losing their life, or they lose something. So we want to learn from people's mistakes, and we also want to learn from our own mistakes, so we don't continuously to make mistakes or actually harm ourselves in any form or fashion, or anyone else. And again, this channel is based off being positivity. I know I may have some trolls. You know, I may have some people who have asked me some questions. But the only reason I haven't looked at the screen is only because I want to pay attention to where I'm going. But anyway, so if y'all did not know, the Pope is dead. Hallelujah. And a lot of people don't know that the Pope controls the world. He calls the shots. But people who love their president, I just look at him as a regular person. I'm the president of my life. I'm the one that wake up every day making the decisions that need to be made, whether they're hard, difficult, uneasy, easy, or unanswered. As far as my physical body, I know when it comes down to the Most High actually has all the answers. So that's why I get a lot of my answers corrected, which that shows the perfection that makes other people who jealous when they come across me, or they research me, or whomever they research with astrology, astronomy, tarot reading, divination of any sort, makes them furious of the why. Well, we try to encourage those individuals who are struggling or that is lost, that if you build a relationship with the Most High, because you already got it, because your presence of your physical body, your vessel, it comes from the Creator, you would get those same opportunities. But you have to face what you've already done as well. If you have done things that is seen and unseen, gives you the opportunity to actually see that truth. And then it makes me think, by stating that, it makes me think about the people who are bitter day in, day out. That is destroying their aura. That is destroying the opportunity to have a great experience with themselves and others. And you know, it's very important, no matter what you pay attention to, you have to make the decision if you're going to allow what you pay attention to consume you, which means if you want to have that type of mindset, you want to live that type of lifestyle. And I know some people got to do what they got to do. It's understandable. Don't let whatever you decide to do control you. You must control it. You have everything what it takes. Even if you got to get certain information from other people to help yourself, it's okay to do that. You know, your goal is to actually be a better version of yourself versus being a stagnant version that you're designed by man to be nothing. If you wasn't nothing, you wouldn't be here. You got to think about it. Out of all the billions of sperm, you made it through all your brothers and sisters. So you do have a purpose, and you must seek your purpose, so therefore you can live your destiny out, and that you don't have to spend a lot of time meddling in other people's businesses that will make you feel some type of way about what they're receiving. People just have to understand then nobody getting nothing out here for free, and you're gonna go through something. So you got all those jealous people out here, for those fit the category, want somebody's life, but they're not willing to go through what it is that people been through. They just want the good thing. And then, you know, people who take shortcuts, it's not a good thing, because at some point, you know, you reap what you sow. But it's just like a plant. You take care of it, and then all of a sudden you say, okay, it's good. I ain't gonna water it no more. I'm not gonna give it the sunlight. I'm not gonna speak to it. It's straight. And then it dies, or it's starting to die. It's the same thing when people do wicked stuff. None of us gonna get away with nothing. I could tell you countless stories about stuff that I've said and I've done, and I had to pay consequences for. That's not what I wanted to experience anymore. Even be going through something, but it won't be based off of feeling down and depressed and out about it. It gives me the understanding that the things that I will learn or have learned now is for lessons and for wisdom and knowledge and understanding and understanding, and actually allows me to be the spiritual teacher that I am. I haven't even gotten deep into anything. I know that I have people who follow me. I know that I have views as I look at them, but maybe all those people who just viewing me out of curiosity or become to be an enemy, or they pay to watch me. However, everybody gonna get to see what they want, and what they want to see. If it's a negative thing, they're not gonna like it, because God's not gonna allow it, man. Look, I am a walking testimony just based off of being paralyzed twice by my enemies. You know what I'm saying? They did that. They did they big one, and then God up one them. You see what I'm saying? And gave me the ability to walk that I was born with from day one. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I don't spend time in wishing them, the worst of the worst. Sometimes, like 90%, I say 99.9%, I spend no time thinking about these people that I never met, or even some of the ones in the past who call themselves doing things. What energy that I could put out to wish them the harm, which I know will hit them way 10 times, million times harder than what they've done to me. That they don't have God's protection because they're not on God's side, and whatever they choose, whatever their beliefs are, allow them to know, for those who will actually witness this, that they don't have any protection. People get brainwashed and manipulated or forced to do certain things, and you got to stand on your toes, man, with your 10 toes when it come down to people trying to persuade you to think or do certain things that you consequently gonna have to face. They will face the consequence. They won't face the consequence for you, but you will face your own consequence. And you got to realize it's very important that you understand that the choices that you make is affecting you and no one else, and it don't be you and only you. No matter how many people you have surrounded or many things surrounded around you, that you'll be the one to actually deal with these things. That's what you have to understand. Yeah. I'm around, though. I'm around. Some people may think I'm not around, but I'm around. I'm around watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm around watching and observing the same way that I'm being watched and observing. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? And we gonna do this together. My intentions are good for sure. They're pure. I don't have to worry about doing anything to anybody, because I understood at this point in life, as I had to grow to the understanding that people do things to themselves and you don't have to do nothing to them, I promise you. You ain't gotta say that's what they get, or you don't gotta say I told you so, because then when you're doing that, that just says a lot about you as an individual, whether you speak it outspokenly to others or you do it to yourself. It's just showing you still have a little something in you that has to grow to get you past that wishing the same harm on others that wish on you. Now sometimes you're gonna have to cut through somebody who actually is trying to bully or want to bully you and get you out of here, especially your livelihood. They want to unalive you, where that they think that they God, or you don't deserve this and you don't deserve that, when the whole time you don't even know these individual or even people from the past. You've always wished your people who have became your enemy well, but they have wished you the worst. You know, and it's up to God to decide that. But God decide everything based on your heart, how you interact in every situation that's possible, whether you're conscious of it or not. You're not going to get to have everything where that you will see everything to understand that statement, but you will see enough where you're actually conscious of those things that allow you to actually engage in your life and engage with others in your environments. So, you know, I had people ask me several questions about Trump, and I said, well, Trump is balancing out. He's using yin and yang. He's doing positive and negative. But when I realize what Trump doing doesn't affect me, I have a decision every day to decide if I want to participate in worldly stuff. And I go against the grain, so I don't believe in what man has done to humanity for many centuries before I was born, and as I have been born, and as I've been adult to witness. I don't agree in people struggling and being treated a certain way and exposed. But I will say this, that exposure and all that mistreatment would be entertaining and interesting to see these people who like to expose people, if they expose what they do and what they've done. But they're not going to do that, because then that defeats the purpose of keeping attention off of them and having people to pay attention to other people that is irrelevant, because people will spend a lot of time judging any and everybody who's going through something or been through something versus to learn from those people's mistakes, so therefore they won't actually go through the same thing or be judged. So, you know, you got these people bringing up old stuff that's years, but they don't tell you the true motive why they bringing it up. But that's behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scene can't be on the front scene, so they gotta pretend to their best ability, which is obvious. That's why they don't want us getting these messages out to y'all, so y'all, for those people who can't see what I'm speaking about, so you won't see the truth. That you will always seek them for the truth, and they don't have no truth in them. You know, truth don't lie, but humans do. So they say, well, you're a human and you speaking the truth. Again, there's a separation. Truth doesn't lie, and humans does. So when you have that, it allows you to understand. Some people gonna understand what I say, some not, and it's okay. It's a process for everything. Understanding comes with a process. It doesn't happen overnight, not instantly. You're not gonna be knocked for not understanding. Just know that the Most High is real. He don't miss his mark. All the witches out there who no longer living, and those who are dismantled, that still living, that still have to witness this, know what I'm talking about. And the warlocks ain't nothing but male witches, and the main reason why they've done a lot of stuff they've done is because they feel like the money, and they want certain material things. They want to put in no work to actually get it, so they got it the easy way, as they thought would be, but they ain't knew, or some as well, that it came with consequences, and they were willing to make no sacrifice and say, I'll deal with consequences later. Right now, I'm going to take this opportunity to be the center of attention. And so, you know, it is what it is. It's well deserved. At some point, that's not a bad price right there for those. At some point, I realized that as a child, that seeing some of the things that people were doing, and I did not want to experience those things. So I wasn't perfect, and I'm still not perfect, but I am, there is pleasure or pleasing behavior or actions in front of the Most High, that which matters, versus humanity. No disrespect to humanity. That as long as I'm doing what the Most High require me to do, good 90-something%, ain't going less than that. I don't need no consequences. I don't need to be cutting my blessings. Is that that's what I'm willing to do. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm willing to do. But prayers to everybody that needs prayers, and may you have the strength to overcome whatever it may be. And remember, it's important for you to actually do what's best for you than for you to take advice from people who not going to have to make the decision that you have to make or go through what you have to go through. If it's negative, don't take it, is my point. But, you know, all the messages is, you know, boiling down until next time. I don't get a lot of views on when I do these lives and stuff for whatever reason. I even see where I did some official lives with Little Woody, and I seen that they took all them views. It was like 500 something. No, it was up there, 700-800 views. They dropped it all the way down to, I think, like 44 views or something like that. So, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't get on YouTube. I get on here for those who don't understand. Get on YouTube to actually reach out to the masses. You know, there's so many people that need certain information, and YouTube is good too. I'm not saying YouTube doing anything, and I'm not saying the higher ups doing anything. Somebody doing something, and what I'm saying to say is I don't really care what they're doing. You know, if I reach one person, rather I use no platform. You know, me physically, my physical body getting up and going outside to reach one of the Most High's people and help them come out of a stagnant situation emotionally and spiritually and physically, then I did my job. That's who pays me, the Most High. Man doesn't pay me. The Most High can use any wicked person on the planet and change his or her heart and make them bow down, and they won't consciously do anything about it or capable of doing it. They can do all the magic, all the witchcraft, all the readings, all the tarot readings, and they can be told that then the guy got his hand on you and he's not letting it go. Ain't nothing they do. They're like, oh, I want to die. They can't die. It's up to God to decide that. When people die, they're not dead, but the physical vessel is no longer existing. That's all that is. People get, you know, into this trauma that they're creating, the sadness because some relative or something has happened to someone, instead of allow that to inspire their life in a positive way to live their best life. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got people proclaiming they live their best life, but you'll know. You'll see how they interact with you. You'll see how they treat you. You also, mainly, which is very important, how they treat themselves. That's how you really gonna know how people really treat themselves. And if you see people, a person can't treat themselves well, don't. You can if you want. Get in your mind that they're gonna treat you better. It's not gonna happen. But here's one slight way that it could happen. If they don't know their self-worth, they can treat you way better than they treat themselves. And that usually happen that way. A lot of situations, people dealing with generation curse, low self-esteem, you know, easily manipulated, really don't know how to comprehend the difference with who's good for them versus those who are not. So yeah, that's the only possibility. Unless they have a disability, and most people who have a disability still are functioning to the understanding of knowing what's going on. And then there's some people who has disabilities that's smarter than the people who don't have no disabilities. So yeah, shit go crazy. You know what nothing these people putting in this food. But anyway, I'm gonna get up off here, man. It's Olabade Olugbsean, man. If you like anything that I took time out to actually pour my spirit and my heart out to, you most definitely welcome to subscribe, like, comment. Please be respectful to everyone in the comments, and also myself, and also more important before any of that I said yourself, because I know you deserve respect, and I know that you want to be respected. So treat it like if someone was actually the opposite side, meaning where you're at, and you're actually the creator of your avatar, aka platform and give people what you want to be received as you promote or you presentation that you bring to the table. That allow you to actually exchange positive energy and also stay balanced. A lot of people feel like being negative is balanced, but there's no balance in it. And they got that what's the name? Just don't do drugs. Now some people feel like doing drugs actually helps them. Maybe it do, maybe it don't. But you gotta understand it does alter your thoughts, your mind, and that's not what you want. You want a healthy mind so you can have healthy decisions in your life. And remember, don't get mad at others because they're progressing. You can learn of their progression, so therefore you can add it to what you're doing, or if you're willing to do what it takes to actually have the success in your life, no matter any of your endeavors. So, Olabade Olugbsean. Until next time, blessings, man. I'm out. Oh, if anyone here, this ain't about, there's been people in here or came through here, but it's not about what people choose to do. You know what I'm saying? It's free will. It's a lot of people broadcasting every day, all day. And so it's very important of understanding that I'm just here to do what I'm supposed to do and keep it moving. Now, people can take advantage of it, or they can lose the advantage they didn't take of it. And then when it's not available, they can wish and hope and pray and huff and puff. God actually take blessings away. Shoot, I could take y'all on a journey to some of the people that used to deal with me. They wish I was around where I could make them laugh and uplift them and stuff like that. But when God brought me in front of them their lives, they ain't take that blessing. They took advantage of it by being judgmental and thinking I was delusional about the things that I was prophesizing or giving them ways how to overcome things without them personally telling me their problems. God was actually giving me, and still does, the ability to speak the things for those individuals that he see that they're struggling with. So God got his way of still reaching the people who actually shuts them off or don't believe. Anyway, peace and blessing. Olabade Olugbsean. Until next time. You know what I'm talking about?